The most wacky, astonishing, damnable, and revealing statements of 2018 coming up on this year-end edition of Liberty Nation Radio. Welcome back into the show as we bid 2018 farewell and prepare for what's certain to be another tumultuous year of 2019. And so we will dive right into it with an expanded edition of our signature segment.
Say what? Say what? Say what? One more time.
All say what, all the time. We present our best of 2018 edition of Say What, a compilation of some of the most wacky, astonishing, and damnable statements of 2018. And it's not going to be just the most outrageous ones, but the most revealing ones. The things said that reveal the true beliefs, agenda, and intentions of those who utter them. And as you surely know, 2018 provided a target-rich environment for an ever more polarized nation between President Trump, his supporters, those who hate him with a passion to the point of being inflicted with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, media bias to a level we've never before witnessed, and more. So let's get this party started with media bias and the unprecedented bile spewed by the elite media toward a president who refuses to bow to them, calls them out as fake news, calls them the enemy of the people. Exhibit A would be the infamous Jim Acosta of CNN, who, in one of his many self-centered rants about the president, called Trump supporters gullible and lame-brained.
The problem is that people around the country don't know it's an act. They're not in on the act, and they take what he says very seriously, and they take attacks from Sean Spicer and Sarah Sanders and what they do to us on a daily basis very seriously. They don't have all their faculties in some cases. Their elevator might not hit all floors.
Well, that was consistent with one of the media themes of the year. Having failed to kneecap Trump himself, they went after his dim-witted supporters and their whiteness and their racism. Here's the most appropriately named man on TV, Don Lemon of CNN, saying no more demonization, and then proceeding to do exactly that himself.
We have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they had the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?
But it wasn't just white men. Kirsten Powers of CNN took aim at white women who voted for Trump.
They'll say, well, I'm not racist. I just voted for him because, I didn't like Hillary Clinton. And I just want to say that that doesn't make you not racist. It actually makes you racist.
So CNN turned male Trump supporters into terrorists and female Trump supporters into racists, a word that has lost its meaning from the rinse and repeat Trump deranged media. The volume of journalists who have sacrificed their reputations at the altar of Trump hatred is remarkable and ever growing. It includes the formerly respectable, now Trump deranged Jeffrey Toobin of, is this sounding like a pattern? CNN. So deranged that he labeled the almost entirely white Antifa as the opposite.
Let's be clear also about what's going on here. The theme here is, I'm Donald Trump and I'll protect you from the scary black people. Antifa is widely perceived as an African-American organization, and this is just part of the same story of LeBron James and Don Lemon and Maxine Waters and the NFL players and the UCLA basketball players. This is about black versus white. This is about Donald Trump's appeal to racism.
Again, Antifa is almost all white. The year was marked by those White House press conferences with the president turned from reporters asking real questions to reporters making statements disguised as questions.
Hi, Mr. President. Yami Shalcender with PBS NewsHour. On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also
I don't
saying
know why you'd
that
say
the
that.
president.
That's such a racist
There are
question.
some people that say that now the Republican Party is seen as supporting white nationalists
Oh, I
because
don't
of your
believe
rhetoric.
that. I don't
What do
believe
you make of that?
I don't believe it. I don't know. Why do I have my highest poll numbers ever with African Americans?
Maybe because of a record low unemployment rate for blacks and Hispanics and women. But at least we might have expected that from a media that once denied their bias and now proudly wears it as a badge of honor. Less explicable are those never-Trump Republicans, the only Republicans employed by the legacy media, who continue to detest Trump even as he accomplishes one conservative objective after another. Witness the once respected George Will.
Donald Trump is an open book who's been reading himself to the country for 30 years. There are just no mysteries left, and he is this, as I said, this jumble of insecurities and partially or not at all really compensating vanities. He's a kind of mistake of nature.
George Will's invective was equaled by my personal choice for the single most insufferable person in the entire media, and that's saying something. The whiny, kvetching, so-called conservative from the Washington Post, Jennifer Rubin, talking about treasonous Republicans in Congress supporting their president.
These people have really betrayed their country. They know the person sitting with the nuclear codes, with his finger literally on the button, as he keeps telling us, is unfit for the presidency, that he's mentally unfit, temperamentally unfit, and yet they kind of prop him out and push him up there and pretend that everything's okay, and everything is not okay.
Then there was establishment Republican strategist Rick Wilson reacting to Trump's zero-tolerance policy at our southern border.
The pictures of the cruelty of this administration are a very deliberate part of this. They're a feature, not a bug, of the Trump administration's policy. No one inside the administration is unhappy about these things because their core supporters, want anybody who's darker than a latte deported.
But the Trump-deranged and never-Trump media were complemented by an equally deranged Hollywood, crushed by the Me Too movement, but carrying on with their virtue signaling and a seething hatred of the 45th president. This is the only clip you need to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump. It's no longer down with Trump. It's Trump.
And to think how much I've loved that guy's movies. We will carry on with 2018's most wacky, astonishing, and damnable and revealing things uttered by politicians in the chattering class in just a moment.